Today is a pretty simple video, and after watching it you will have separate control over all your audio sources. And I will also show you a few tricks, for example making sure that your audience can hear your music but that you yourself can't hear it so you can focus on your game. The first thing I want you to do is go to Google and search virtual cable. Now this is a simple piece of software that will allow you to send a certain program, for example Spotify, to this virtual cable and then import the cable in OBS, which will allow you to control it separately. I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Owned Pro. Owned Pro is a plugin for OBS Studio that allows you to install both free and premium graphic packs with one single click. Just go to the first link in my description, click join for free and then go through the setup process. Once installed, you will find it under Tools Owned Pro. Now simply choose a layout you want, either one of the free ones on top or one of the many premium options you get when you subscribe, and then with one click the complete package will get installed. And you're done. Again, the link will be in my description. So first of all, you want to install the program, so let's click on this and then open the installer. Now you'll have to run the right setup here, but you'll probably have a 64-bit system, so I'm gonna run that. And as you see, for me it says that the cable is already installed, but here will be a button, install cable. You just want to press it, maybe restart your PC. I think it's not necessary, but maybe it is. And then after that you want to right click your audio here, then go to open sound settings, scroll to the bottom and then choose app volume and device preferences. Now here in this list you will see all the programs that are making sound on your PC. Now let's say you want to use Spotify for your music, you just want to run it and then you just start playing some music, for example Stream Beats, which is amazing for streamers. Just click on play. Now it's playing on my PC and you will see it appear here in this list. Now here on the right you see two columns, right? This is the output column and Spotify is going to default now. However, what you want to do now is send Spotify to cable input, VB audio virtual cable. This is what you just installed. You send your audio to it and as a result of that you won't hear Spotify anymore because it was going to the default device, which is this right here on top, which will probably be your headset, and now it's going to this cable. So now you want to go to OBS Studio, then you want to go to the settings on the right, then to audio, and now you want to add the cable as a mic auxiliary device. However, we also need to add our microphone, so I'm gonna use that as my first device here. So Line Steinberg, this is my audio interface. Let's select that as my mic, and then as the second mic auxiliary device I want to choose cable output. So our PC has a virtual cable installed now, and Spotify is going to the input of the cable and then the output of the cable is connected to OBS Studio. Let's click on OK, and now as you see, mic aux device, this is my microphone, it's moving when I talk, and then mic aux 2, this is the virtual cable and this is playing Spotify. If I pause Spotify, you will see that this is not moving anymore. Now let's press on play again so we see everything moving. If you want to rename these sources, you just click on the settings icon, choose rename. Let's call this microphone. And then the mic aux 2 was Spotify or music, that's your choice. Let's call it music for this tutorial. And then desktop audio, this will be your default device. So when you go to the settings and then to the audio tab, you will see here desktop audio. By default, this is set to default and the default device is this right here. If you click on your sound icon, this is your default device. You can also right click it, open sound settings and then choose your main device here. This will probably be your headset and it won't be moving right now because Spotify isn't being sent through the headset anymore. So which things are being played through this desktop audio? Well, everything on your PC besides Spotify and then obviously your microphone. So if I go to YouTube and then play one of my videos here, you will see that now my desktop audio is moving. However, we still need to separate some things because right now the desktop audio will also contain your friends on Discord, for example. And this is something that many people also want to split from the other sound. So that's the next thing I'm gonna show you. So let's open Discord. And by the way, the setup is the same for any voice program. I'm gonna go to the settings on the bottom here and then choose voice and video. And here you can change your input and output device. Now, as you see, I still have cable input here. This is probably from an old tutorial. This is an old PC. And just like we did with the virtual cable for Spotify, now we basically need to send Discord to another device. But the question is, to which device do we want to send it? There's a bunch here. And in this case, I would have have two options. The first one would be this, which is an audio port in my monitor, and the second one would be this, which is an extra audio port on my motherboard that I'm not really using. So whenever you have an aux port somewhere, for example in my monitor, in my PC, maybe there's an aux port in your keyboard, all those ports will show up here as the output devices. You can send a program to that, and then you could connect earphones to that aux port and then listen to it. However, what we are gonna do is send a program, for example Discord, and you can also do this with another program, to this aux port that's not really being used. But then instead of connecting earphones to that aux port to listen to Discord, we are gonna import it in OBS Studio, just like with the virtual cable. So now in the audio settings, we need to import the device we just sent our audio to. Now with the cable, we needed to add it as a microphone, but for normal audio devices, you wanna add it as a simple desktop audio. So let's select audio 2, and then here, this is the device we sent Discord to. So now let's click on OK, and desktop audio 2, this is gonna be Discord, so let's rename it Discord, click on OK, and now whenever I have some friends talking on Discord, the sound of them will appear here in OBS Studio. However, we do have a big problem now, because we can see our audio sources moving here, but we can't hear them in our headset or our speakers in general. Our PC is not sending them to us. The sources are only being sent to OBS. Now we see them moving here, which means that they are being received by OBS and they are being sent to the stream. Now luckily for us, making ourselves hear them is pretty easy. When you click on the settings icon here of either of these sources, you can go to advanced audio properties. Now here we see the same 4 sources that we have here, and for all of them we can change the audio monitoring. Now for example the music, which is Spotify, the 4th source here, let's click on this drop down, and now we can choose monitor only or monitor and output. Now output means sending it to the stream. So the first option, monitor off, means only outputting it to the stream. Then the second one, monitor only mute output, means we are monitoring the sound, we can hear it ourselves, but it's being muted for the stream. And then the third option is monitor and output. In that case, it's being sent to our PC, to our headphones, and to OBS to the stream. However, there is one extra thing that's extremely important. As you see, the first source here is the desktop audio. We are importing our PC audio and we are sending it to the stream. So what does this mean? If I change the music, if I change Spotify to monitor only, Spotify will be sent to our PC. However, since we are importing our PC sound in OBS, OBS will also receive this music sound. So then the complete setup is this. Our mic is set to monitor off, which means only output. The mic is going to the stream. Then the music and the Discord are not being outputted. The output is muted, but they are being monitored, both of them. And that means that they are being sent to my audio device, which is this right here, the LG HDR 4K. It's the audio port in my monitor. And as you remember, in the audio settings, the desktop audio is set to default, our default audio device, which is this here. Now let me click on OK, and let me give a clear overview of what's happening exactly. And to make it clear, we're gonna follow one source from the start to the end. We're gonna follow Spotify. So music is playing here on Spotify. Usually you would hear it in your headphones, but we changed our audio settings in the advanced audio settings. So Spotify here is being played, but the output has been changed from default, which is my headphones, to the cable input. And then in OBS, in our audio settings, we are capturing the output of that cable, which is Spotify exclusively. So as a result, Spotify is being imported here in OBS. And then the next thing you need to look at is what's happening here, the audio monitoring. So Spotify, the music enters OBS through the virtual cable, and that is set to monitor only, mute output. So Spotify is not being outputted to the stream, it's being monitored in my headphones. And then the last thing, the headphones are the desktop audio, and these are being sent to the stream. The output is not muted, so Spotify is going to my headphones. My headphones are also imported in OBS, and those are being sent to the stream. So as a final result of that, we now have 4 separate sliders. The desktop audio, this will primarily be our game, but then also if you play a YouTube video and those kind of things. Then the Discord sound, this is how loud our friends are. are. Then the microphone, this is obviously your microphone for the stream only. And then the music, this controls the volume of your music. There is one last thing you can do. I'm not sure if I already said this, but if you change the music from monitor only to monitor off, then what will happen is the music is not being monitored. We are not hearing our music. The only thing that's happening, the music is entering OBS through the virtual cable and then it's being outputted to the stream. It's not being outputted to us. Because as you see, the desktop audio here is not moving, the music is, and it's only being outputted to the stream. So as a result of that, you can focus on your game, but you're not hearing your music. However, the music is being sent to your stream, so the people watching will have some background music. Now this video is a very popular one of me and many people like it because it really helps you to get a better audio sound on your stream. If you didn't set up advanced filters yet, I really recommend you to check out this video. Besides that, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.